Key theoretical assumption of the IPO approach. What makes the IPO approach phonological? There are two important properties of the elements of an IPO description that distinguish them from the analytical constructs of most other instrumental work on intonation. These are phonetic definition and sequential structure. Sequential structure is obvious. An IPO description of a contour consists of a string of discrete intonational elements. To be sure, the significance of this fact is disputed. In particular, Grothman has suggested that my emphasis on the sequential structure of the IPO work is misleading. She considers declination to be an equally central feature of the IPO theory, and points out that the concept of declination has been widely adopted in many instrumental phonetic models of intonation that do not share any corresponding phonological abstractions. I do not think that this objection is valid. However, the distinction between the abstract elements and the detail of their phonetic realization is discussed very explicitly in Hart and Collier, 1975. The abstract realization is discussed very explicitly. The abstract description clearly involves only a string of elements in sequence, and declination is treated as a matter of phonetic detail, not as part of abstract description. Declination in the IPO model certainly resembles the phrase components of numerous non-phonological studies about which more shortly. But it is a part of the phonetic background, not something that is molded to communicative ends. As for phonetic definition, this is intended to mean that the elements of the IPO system, type A4, type 2 rise, etc., are defined in terms of phonetic characteristics rather than semantic ones. Meaning or function plays no role in the analysis. The elements are identified solely on the basis of the fact that they are perceptually distinct from other elements, and are defined solely in terms of the phonetic properties that distinguish them. There is no necessary reference to any supposed functions of intonation, and terms like continuation rise are seldom used. As Hart and Collier put it, we have deliberately restricted ourselves to the melodic aspects only. So far, we have not said anything about the functional aspects of information. For example, We cannot offer any explanation for the motives of the speaker that lead to the choice of a particular intonation pattern. Yet the question still remains: what makes the IPO work phonological? Why are sequential structure and phonetic definition crucial concepts in intonational phonology? This question has a certain amount of force because the IPO researchers themselves tended to present their own work as being basically about speech perception, not phonology. Speech perception, not phonology. Oh, really? I cannot understand this. I cannot believe it. Hmm. Phonology, but the significance of sequential structure and phonetic definition becomes clear when we consider segmental analogous of what the phonetic approach to intonation involves. First, consider phonetic definition. In segmental phonetics, instrumental research is devoted to studying the physical cues to properties like voicing or vowel quality or nasality. Phoneticians do not try to study the physical cues to properties like plurality or verb aspects or negation. It seems obvious that it would be pointless to do so. The segmental categories investigated by instrumental phonetics are phonological, not lexical or grammatical.